What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to I Do It Myself. So, man, the UFO has landed and Jay Electronica has joined the conversation. So, first and foremost, assalamu alaikum to my brother Jay Electronica, man. Jay Electronica is one of those guys that like you'll be talking to him, you'll have his number, and then like his number will disappear out of your phone and you won't delete it. You know what I'm saying? Or he'll just call you one day or pop up on you and you won't know where he came like where it came from or nothing. But I say that to say Jay Electronica is a very respectable brother. Got a lot of love for him. He's always showed me love and appreciation, and I'm gonna do that too. But today we talking about how he feels regarding the Super Bowl. So look, um, he went off with a series of tweets, and we're gonna go through. I ain't gonna say all of them because a lot of them, he was just saying how he was feeling about other things, but they all made sense. But let's go through the main ones, right? So one of the first things he said was this: niggas got all this smoke for Hove, but they ain't got no smoke for David Geffen, Jimmy Iovine, and Lucian Grange, and Lear Cohen, etc., etc. I do not respect your gangster. You puh. You heard? So if y'all don't know, uh while we wear name brands or support brands, these is people's last names, you feel me? David Geffen, the person who created Geffen, you know what I mean, which is a division of Interscope, right? Then Jimmy Iovine, I'm saying Jimmy Iovine, the guy who is, the success story behind Death Row Records, Interscope Records, ran Interscope for a long time, partners with Dr. Dre, created Beats by Dre with Dr. Dre. They sold it, made tons of money. Jimmy Iovine is probably a billionaire. Even if you check it online, it's probably not going to say that, but Jimmy Iovine is probably a billionaire. Lucian Grange, who runs all of music, you know what I'm saying? His son just took over Atlantic Records as the CEO, you know what I'm saying? And he also is the person who created 10K, which had it started with Trippie Redd, 6ix9ine, but most notably right now they got Ice Spice, you know what I'm saying? And Lear Cohen, of course, you know the background of Lear Cohen from being at Def Jam, starting with Run DMC, doing so many different things, you know what I mean, giving Irv Gotti, you know what I mean, his position, signing Young Thug, starting 300 Entertainment with Kevin Liles, list goes on and on and on. Now, I want to speak about each tweet and I want to talk about each tweet. The reason why this tweet is so important from Jay Electronica is this. Yes, while we're sitting here doing all this arguing, all this bickering, all this debating, all of this negative energy that everybody's spewing out towards Jay-Z, nobody has no type of rec for none of these people. And you say, well, why, right? Why should they? Why should they? I mean, first and foremost, these are the guys who back, you know what I'm saying, all of these labels, let alone the ones who do the deals. You feel me? If we talk about the music industry and we complain about the stuff that's held us back, 360 deals, all these crazy structures, label deals where the artists never recoup, situations where they give you a bunch of money up front, but you sacrifice so much on the back end. These are the constructors of these types of situations. Now, am I going to say everything is all bad? I think it's a little bit of 50-50. Some of it is bad, some of it is good. On one hand, you could look at it from the standpoint of this. These guys that we mentioned did also give a lot of your favorite CEOs or whatever opportunities, right? So Jimmy Iovine, of course, from being down with Dr. Dre, was behind Eminem, you know what I mean, was behind 50 Cent and the G-Unit movement, right? So these people have been the funders of a lot of the things that we love. Lear Cohen with Rockefeller and Murder Inc., you know what I'm saying? DMX, you know what I'm saying? Young Thug, YSL, Gunna, you know what I'm saying? Meg Thee Stallion with 300, all of that. They've provided, you know what I mean, the bed for this stuff to be on. Let's go to another tweet from the good brother Jay Electronica. He says, and let's be real, 50 Cent just opened an entire industry in Shreveport, and these ass ends, you know what I mean, slave cooning over a football game. If you don't get the F out of my face. So, yo, this is the thing, right? We can come together for all types of negativity, amongst one another. Now, everybody jokes about it, right? Like, oh, when Jay did Title, and because academics theory is that Jay's problem with Drake, which I don't believe Jay has a problem with Drake at all, but Jay's problem with Drake was when he did Title, he didn't endorse it. You know what I'm saying? Drake didn't endorse it. He went to Apple and got crazy millions of dollars to release his music there first, and then every other DSP got it after. But again, when Jay started Title, the general conversation amongst our peers, I say to everyday people is, I ain't giving Jay-Z no more of my money. I done bought his albums. I done bought Rockaware. I done bought the liquor. I ain't about to give no money for Title. What's Title? Like, it's a streaming service, the same as any other streaming service. But when it comes to our people, the white man's ice is always cold, as my brother B-Dot would say. You feel me? We always will find some sort of excuse, some sort of reasoning, some sort of like attitude to display as to why we don't want to support one another. But when it comes to supporting them, oh, we all in. You feel me? Gucci makes a new sneaker, running for it. Daffy Duck joints, remember the Daffy Duck, the Mickey Mouse Gucci sneakers that came out? Run for it. Whoever else makes a black man makes a luxury sneaker, price point is, let's say the Gucci sneaker is $1,100. Price point for the said black man or woman who makes their luxury sneaker, everything comes into question about you. Are you qualified? What gives you the right to call it luxury? Are you making these in Italy? I like the brand. I like the aesthetic. I like the lifestyle, you see? But that's just a mindset. You know what I'm saying? All that shit is just mindset. You know, we're always down to support whatever anybody else got going on. Like, again, we talking about the Super Bowl. This is not Summer Jam. This is not Rolling Loud, which we don't control Rolling Loud either. This is not any other festival you could possibly think of. But this is a game, and this is an opportunity. Now, again, everybody's up in arms about the Lil Wayne shit, but end of the day, it's another black man that's getting that opportunity, and everybody's having a reason or something to feel about why he shouldn't be doing it. Let's go through some more tweets. Give me 1 second, y'all. So we got another one. He says, and y'all so quick to let your gun bust at your brother over nothing. If y'all would put 10% of this negative energy over a football game into unifying for one common cause, our people will be free overnight. Salam alaikum. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Jay Electronica, you know what I mean? He not always there when you call, but he always on time. You feel me? Because the brother is speaking some truth. You know what I mean? He's speaking some real truth. And I think that even with that being said, ain't nobody gonna get that. Don't nobody want to hear that. Nobody wants to be into this whole conversation of like black unit. Like, we love black unifying and unity when the police kill one of us. When the police kill one of us or harm one of our kids or any sort of law enforcement authority figure, whether it's a correctional officer, when it's the conditions in the prison, when it's whatever's going on, we all for it. But when a civilian, not talking about somebody who participates in street activity, talking about a civilian witnesses a crime, and it's a traumatic scene, and they speak about this, we hold them for being a snitch. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's like we just in this crazy ass world where it's like Bizarro land. Like, you know how DC Comics used to have Superman? They used to have the Bizarro world, where it was like the alternative world to the actual world. So you had Superman and everything he was doing, and you had Batman, but then they had the Bizarro world and it was different characters, and it was like evil and shit. It's like the whole world is Bizarro now, right? Like everything is going on, but nothing really makes sense. Nothing is streamlined, and everything is all over the place. So let's go. I think it's one more that I wanted to look at. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. Okay, he says, and finally, I will die in the war with the common enemy on the spot for Birdman and BG and Wayne and whoever else say I would for Hove. He said, whoever else, the same way I would for Hove. We all we got. But who's man enough to say enough is enough? I'm man enough to say enough is enough. I hate it, yo. I'm going to keep it 100. If I'm a hater to anything, I'm a hater of my people oppressing one another. And then you get people, black people can't oppress one another because we can't hold each other back. We absolutely can. We absolutely do. know what I'm saying? This is all these types of situations and scenarios where you know, yes, geographically, there are people who have issues with Wayne being not the person for the Super Bowl and Kendrick getting it. And it's really because of geographics, because Jay-Z is in charge of, the cultural integration of, the halftime shows and other stuff that transpires with the NFL. You feel me? But are we really mad at that? Or we just mad that he's from New York? That's what it really is. I ain't gonna lie, bro. One thing, my brothers and sisters, let me not just say bro. I gotta talk for my sisters because we do got some sisters who watch the channel. One thing I will say is that living in the South, oh boy, they do not mess with the North. You feel me? Like they don't mess with the North. And I mean, I'm one of those people who I grew up, my family name, the Clarks, we are from Fayetteville, North Carolina. If you know anybody in Fayetteville that is a Clark, they are my kin. They're my family. You feel me? That's how it is out there. But there's this big disconnect between the North and the South. And I think that like it's the North, the South, it's the West Coast, it's the Midwest. Everybody is trying to make a name for themselves constantly. But collectively, how strong are we together? You feel me? Birdman, somebody I have tons of respect and love for. Master P, tons of love and respect for. Jay Prince, aside from all of the street stuff, tons of love and respect for. And I did an interview with Jay Prince. He actually interviewed me one time for his wine brand loyalty. Top Dog, Suge Knight, even though Suge Knight ruled with an iron fist when he did. All of these people that I'm naming, right? All of these different people that I'm naming, we've all had our factions, but whether it been a Cash Money, a No Limit, a Rockefeller, Murder Inc., a Dungeon Family, Brick Squad Monopoly, Brick Squad when it came to Gucci Mane, QC, which I work at, Disturbing the Peace, all these different factions, right? With all the money that we've been able to make, with all the fame, all the notoriety, all the shit that we've been able to go around this world and do, we've never organized. And that's one thing that I noticed that people fear. When we start to organize and we start to get together and really put our minds to this shit and really start breaking stuff down and coming together, that's when we really make change. But how many people is willing to make change? You want to know why they not? It's that same kind of mentality of like, oh, they ain't my niggas, or they ain't my people, or that ain't why I'm worried about them. Those are some New York niggas, or those some down south niggas, or we ain't the same gang, or we ain't we all black people. That's why I said, like, you get these conversations when, the West, you speak on the West Coast and what they politicking about. And why you speaking about us? The reason why I'm speaking, because we black, bro. We from, whether you choose to realize it or not, we all are the same. You feel me? And that's how they look at each other, but that's not how they look at us. We're talking about the NFL, who has relationships with Fox, ESPN, all these major networks that get all of this money, right? Let's say their locker room conversation is what's been transpiring over the past few days, and they looking like, look at these guys. They ain't even never make no real money because look at all of them scrambling and scratching over this. I think that even with the Super Bowl being in New Orleans, it's been in New Orleans before. The problem is because Jay-Z's from New York. It's not just because it's Jay-Z. Jay-Z's from New York, and they thinking, oh, he's putting a West Coast person in. If it was really biased, why ain't he pick? I mean, we don't have a top artist right now, but shit, he could have easily said Cardi B or something. You know what I'm saying? Or Nicki or whatever the case may be. Never mind that. When we look at the geographics, the politics, the reasoning about like why are we doing this and not that, and why are we on this and that. Like I said, if their locker room conversation, I would be like, they ain't even made no money. And how could they? All they doing is downing each other. And listen, I'm not saying that because all black people are not the same. We all have different walks of life, different paths, different stories. We all don't come from the same thing. But generally, we share the struggle. One thing I know about the struggle is that if you doing good, you want to lift another brother or sister up. If you're doing good, you want to help somebody else get to where you want to get somebody else to feel the same way you felt. That great feeling of you accomplishing your goals and just meeting your marks and just doing the shit that you want to do. But again, like Jay Electronica said, who's man enough to say enough is enough? I'll challenge that to who's ready to act on it. Because people laugh when Farrakhan said they don't want to hear people kick knowledge. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to hear people talk about unity and all that. They don't want to hear, like Drake said, you be rapping like you're trying to free the slaves. You feel me? It's just a fun poke. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing crazy. Pause. Poke is crazy. But you know what I'm saying? I think that with all that we know today, look at this clip right here from this lawyer. Look at this clip right here.
$145 million is what the CEO of Spotify makes in a year. I would have asked the presidential candidates, hey, why do we have an economy where one guy makes $345 million and hundreds of thousands of artists on his platform can't make a living?
Like the Spotify's, right? The Apple Music. We talk so much about this culture, this way of life that we live. We go through pain, we go through struggle, we go through triumph. We create art out of that. When we have to distribute that art, we don't dictate what it costs. We don't dictate what it's worth. We have to give it to somebody to tell somebody else what they should do for it. And when they say what they should do for it, it's never in question. But when the person that you recognize, or the person you know, the person that you could see yourself in does it, it's a problem. And I think it's on every level. I seen the same thing happen when Nicki Minaj did her sneaker. I seen people complaining about it. Oh, it ain't this, it ain't that. How can we change it? I don't know. I myself don't have those answers. I'm searching for them. Sometimes throughout this search, I get lost. But at the same time, I feel compelled to still share. Like, how can we get better overall as a culture? How can we show some unity? Man, listen. The 8-Tray gangsters in the rolling 60s, they represent the same fact. They represent the same generally the same plight. But they've been beefing for 50 years. You know what I mean? I always say the Bloods and the Crips is the greatest idea poorly executed. When is enough enough? Shit. When will we wake up? Sometimes I feel hopeful and sometimes I feel hopeless. Sometimes I feel like, man, that shit ain't never gonna happen. Because we just too far gone in a lot of ways. But I do have hope for us. Through everything, I just want us to respect one another. I want us to pull one another. I want you to look at me and feel just as happy about my success as I should feel for yours. And I want you to look at me, and if you see anything that I got or I attain, you want to ask questions and you want to learn and you want to be adamant. And I should feel compelled enough to give you that game, like my brother Wayno does. I should feel some social responsibility. And I feel like if we did that and we took a tad bit, because we ain't got to take all our money. You seen what J.R. Smith said? We done threw $50,000, $60,000 aimlessly. He said if we all go to a bank and ask for $10 million, who gonna tell us no? Is it gonna happen? That's yet to be seen. I hope it does, but who knows if we'll get there. I'm saying through everything, I'm happy my brother Jay Electronica popped back up. Assalamu alaikum to you. And I hope you're in good health, good spirits. And I thank you for the tweets you sent out today, because I think it could have woke a few of us up. This is I Do It Myself. 20-minute episode today. Know what I mean? I think I'm almost at 20. If not, we're gonna get there. I gotta get into the routine of this, but I hear all of y'all loud and clear. Thank y'all for helping me build this channel. It means everything. I have my own voice and I'm in charge of it. Nobody could say, yo, Wayno, you can only record this day when we got this artist, or you can only record that day when we're doing this event. I can now do it myself. And I'm thankful for y'all, man. I see the production stuff that y'all tell me, but y'all gotta remember, I'm a music executive, not a visual one. You know what I'm saying? But thank you to each and everybody who watches this. For the ones that rock with me, you know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually you will. This is I Do It Myself. I see y'all on Friday. We done dropped the episode every day this week. Peace.